Today's special guest comes from Wales. He's underrated, unknown to many people. He's a theatrical prowess in his own right, and he's been in theatre and has been performing throughout his home country of Wales for many, many years. So he's probably a familiar name across the water because I'm in Ireland, across the water, as we would say here. He's called Tristan Leah Griffiths. Now, on my channel, I am a huge fan of Jonathan Antoine, yes, from Britain's Got Talent fame. 10 years later, he's amassed over 300,000 followers throughout the world. He's a huge hit in America and Canada and wherever he performs. His concerts are sold out within minutes, but that took 10 years. From today, I hope I'm going to launch this young tenor's career. This man has everything. He's got the range in voice, he's got the prowess, he sings in Welsh as well. I've listened to his previous tracks on YouTube, a couple of them in Welsh, and the Welsh language to me is absolutely beautiful, and especially when it's sung by a tenor like Tristan Leah Griffiths. Now, Jonathan Antoine fans have called themselves Fantwans, which I think is pretty cool. His surname mixed in with the word fan. And I was thinking long and hard, and I thought, Leah fans, we need to start the ball rolling here on YouTube. You out there listening to him, and me. And so this is a dedication to Tristan. It's a cover of a song I absolutely adore. But in my research, I learned something new, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But first, we're going to have a nice, uplifting story about the guest today. And he is from Pembrokeshire, but he talks about his love for rugby and performing on a special Welsh TV program that he did. And Leah spoke to Tudor Owen about some of his life's most iconic pieces, and he revealed in that particular program the story behind each piece as he travels around various locations in his area of Wales. One of the locations that he travelled to was Crymych Rugby Club, where Tristan from Clunderwen shares his stories from the field and his love of the game. And this is what he says, to give you an insight into the character of Tristan. Singing and rugby don't go well together, he admitted, recalling his time playing for Whitland Rugby Club. I came on as a substitute with 20 minutes to go. Great, I thought, I've got a concert tonight and I'll be fine for 20 minutes. But I came on the field fresh and wanting to show that I could play, and jumped on top of the scrum half and bumped my head on the back of another person's head as a result. I didn't notice at the time, but as my father drove me up to the concert in Port Talbot that evening, he said I had a little shiner on me. It was halfway through the concert and by now my eye was closed. I had to explain to the audience that I'd been playing rugby and I hadn't been fighting. The audience loved the story, but I'm in a position where I can't do that now. And I think I and a load of other people will say, please, please be careful, Tristan, and protect that voice of yours. My rule is, he continues, I don't play when I'm in the middle of rehearsals or mid-contract, but when I don't have a contract, I find that my diary is opened a little, I go back to train and hope to play. Sure, many think I'm risking it, but I don't want to look back in years' time, he says with regret. Rugby is my delight, and I enjoy it, but not as much as we enjoy your voice, but not until I've given people some really interesting facts. And on my special thumbnail, I've incorporated Sarah Brightman, the legend that is. And she is behind this piece of research, interesting piece. Anyway, Nella Fantasia you're going to hear is a song in Italian based on the theme, as we all know, Gabriel's Oboe from the film The Mission of 1986, with music by composer Ennio Morricone and lyrics by Chiara Ferru. Nella Fantasia is popular amongst classical crossover singers and was originally released in 1998 by Sarah Brightman. It has been covered by many artists. Nella Fantasia first appeared on the Sarah Brightman album Eden in 1998, and a musical video for the song was released on Brightman's Diva the Video collection in 2006. On March 1999, the video recording of her concert One Night in Eden, when introducing the song, she had this to say, so take note everybody. My next song, she says, was originally an instrumental written by composer Ennio Morricone for the film The Mission. About 3 years ago, I wrote to Mr. Morricone asking whether he would give me permission to turn this particular piece into a song. He flatly refused. So every 2 months, I would send him another begging letter, until I think he became so sick of me personally that he finally relented. And I'm really glad that he did, because I think it works beautifully as a song. Sarah, it does. But to find out, Sarah, that you wrote the lyrics of Nella Fantasia to Ennio Morricone's song is incredible. But this was added around that time, 1999, by Philip Anderson from the San Jose Center for the Performing Arts. Is it possible, he asked us, that Brightman wrote the lyrics of the songs in English and they were then translated into Italian by Ferru? Confusingly, the linear notes of Brightman's subsequent album, The Very Best Of 1990 to 2001, which also featured the song, state that the composers of the song were Britta Ferrud and Ennio Morricone, excluding Sarah Brightman's contribution and inclusion of the fact that she had penned, and after relentlessly chasing Ennio, he had given in and allowed her to put the words to his music. I bet you didn't know that. I certainly didn't. I have the lyrics in front of me, but not until I explain that I have put a visual, a nature visual of the sea to Tristan's voice. Why? Because it was an audio and I felt it needed something a little special added. So I've added this video. We're going to listen to Tristan Leah Griffiths' voice, and we're going to savor, I hope, the combination of the two, where you get to watch something visual as your ears become eargasmic to his liquid gold voice. Let's hope this works. This is trial and error on my part, but it's all live, and I've done it for you. I've done it for Tristan, but most of all, I've done it for me. And you're covering a song I absolutely adore. I'm going to just do this and say, take it away, Tristan Leah Griffiths, with your extraordinary version of Nella Fantasia.
Nella fantasia io vedo un mondo giusto, lì tutti vivono in pace e in onestà. Lo sogno d'anime che sono sempre libere, come le nuvole che volano, pien d'umanità, in fondo nella fantasia io vedo un mondo chiaro, qui anche la notte è meno scura. Lo sogno d'anime che sono sempre libere, come le nuvole che volano, pien d'umanità. soffia sulle città come amico. Lo sogno d'anime che sono sempre libere, come le nuvole che volano, pien d'umanità, in fondo all'anima.
Well, I think the two videos of him singing and that particular ocean, relaxing, meditative, soothing video works very well together. Don't you agree? That was quite beautiful to watch, but not so as the ears burning to that voice of Tristan Leah Griffiths. From today, I'm going to start the ball rolling, as I said, and I've become a Leah fan, and I hope you have too. Do check him out. It's Tristan Leah Griffiths Topic on YouTube. We need to build up his fan club, build up the subscribers, start watching him. And Tristan, if you're listening, you need to produce more music, boy. You really do. And I hope you've enjoyed my little tribute to you. But not until we, as always, look at the wonderful lyrics that the legend Sarah Brightman penned to the other legend Ennio Morricone's music. In verse 1 it says, "In my imagination I just see a world where all in peace and honesty. I dream of souls that are always free, like clouds that soar, full of humanity, deep in spirit." I think it's very applicable to the war that we see between Russia and Ukraine at the moment, to all the wars throughout the world, to the devastation that happened in the earthquake in Turkey that affected Turkey and Syrian people that are still struggling to survive on a daily basis now. World efforts and resources are being pulled in multiple ways all over the place because people are in desperate need of help to survive and just to survive daily. My present thoughts go out with everybody affected by health, by wars, anything. And I hope this song, Nella Fantasia, and these beautiful lyrics help in the healing process in some way. It continues in verse 2, "In my imagination I see a bright world. There even night is less dark. I dream of souls that are always free, like clouds that soar." I do too. I think if Nella Fantasia could be a theme music, I really think it's befitting to call it a theme for world peace. We need peace, don't we? I'm tired of listening to the news, tired of hearing even gossip on social media, celebrities. How many other women are going to become pregnant? I'm tired of it all. Who cares? Pregnancy happens all over the world. And it's just, why make such a fuss of it? I'm tired of inner conflicts amongst people, where people have separated over the silliest of things, whereas before people would have worked together through their problems. And it's almost like we have a world of social media where they're full of stories, even on talent shows, of upset stories to try and pull at the heartstrings, to get them votes, to get them noticed, to have their 3 minutes. It's a sad world that we live in. There's no yin and yang at the moment. It's just turbulence everywhere that you look, in what you read, what you see. Escapism for me is bringing you music, and bringing you artists so underrated like Tristan Leah Griffiths. And I hope that you've become a Leah fan, because the final verse in this song is, "In my imagination there is warm wind. that breathes over the cities like a friend. I dream of souls that are always free, like clouds that soar. We often hear the phrase when we're walking through a forestry or something, the sound of the rustling leaves. We always hear of, almost feel like it's voices in the wind. It's often referred to. It's almost cliched at this point, but it's prevalent, and it's a phrase that, as Sarah says, she just hopes that, you know, people can breathe, people can learn to live together, and we can drop all the hatred towards immigrants and point our personal problems towards them. Peace begins at home. Peace begins within yourself. Peace begins up here. If you find turbulence, if you're upset for any reason, death, financial problems, job loss, whatever it is, I hope you get through it. And I hope these lyrics, the video, and Tristan's voice has lifted you today to a level where you can start moving forward. That's my wish for everybody. Until the next time, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you've enjoyed your introduction. He'll be back on my channel singing in Welsh next. Will be my next reaction to Tristan Leah Griffiths. And I hope you become a Leah fan just like I have done today. Take care.